Stage. Without further ado, she has been performing and doing comedy for over a decade. She is hilarious, and she's the whole reason Funny Times Live is here tonight. Make it loud for Nicole Rasa!
Wow, thank you all for coming out. This is great. So, show of hands or by applause, how many people here have heard of the Funny Times before I handed you one in the audience? All right, 4 or 5 of you. Great, this is going to go really well. So Funny Times, we're a humor and comics actual newspaper magazine, and we're based out of Cleveland, Ohio. Yes. People often will find out that I work at an actual newspaper, and they're like, how is that possible? And I always need to remind them that in Cleveland, it's still 1997. So we're fingers crossed for the internet. I'm on the message board, so we're going to figure it out. I was nervous about coming to Southern California. I've been here before, I know, but I've never been here like to do something. And I'm like Midwestern sized, and I'm Cleveland sized, y'all. So I was like, well, what can I do to maybe like up my confidence? So I decided I would try a juice cleanse. Although there are not juice bars in Cleveland, I'm gonna tell you. So instead I just ate some bad potato salad. Results were 100% the same. Jeans zipped right up. One of the hardest things I think about living in Ohio is, especially working for the Funny Times, because we're pretty left-leaning, if not more than left-leaning. We would be socialists, but I do make them pay me. Is that we live in a battleground state. Yeah, we live in a place where like you have to fight. You meet somebody at a party and then they'll say something to you and you're like, I guess we're not gonna hang out. And for me that can be difficult because I have like really bad ADHD. And part of that is that yes, thank you. We're coming out of the shadows, y'all. And part of that is that I have this thing called an auditory processing disorder, which means that I can hear what you're saying, kind of, and I can see that you're talking to me, but I do not give a shit. So I end up like a lot of times just like smiling and nodding, like I'll be like, and if someone laughs, I go, oh yeah, that's good. But living in Ohio, like even my family members cannot be trusted to have reasonable political views. So Thanksgiving gets iffy, right? And I end up a lot of times laughing at and agreeing to things I never would actually laugh at or agree to. For example, last Thanksgiving, or a few years ago actually, I thought I had agreed to go on a beer run, and I actually woke up storming the Capitol. So, you gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention. So a fun fact about Funny Times that people don't realize is that almost everybody that works at the Funny Times works part-time. We're really super dedicated to getting this newspaper out, and so we do it on like a shoestring budget. I myself don't mind working part-time. I'm like the queen of the part-time job. 2 or 3 part-time jobs. And part of that reason is because with the ADHD, like I show up to an interview and they're like, I don't know, she seems cool, she seems fun, but in that way like a tiny desk concert where you're like, this is great, but I don't know if we could have this in the office like every day. One of the things I hate the most that I do have to do sometimes is spreadsheets. Anybody out there good at spreadsheets? No, it's the worst, right? And if I ever find the person that said, I could format that spreadsheet for you, I always would say I would do something really, really bad to her. And I know it wasn't her because that's how we ended up doing them. They were like, make the ladies do it. And you're like, no. But if I ever find her, well, I just make her do all the rest of the fucking spreadsheets. That's the worst thing I could think of making her do. Like I said, I do have the ADHD, but I take the medicine for it. Yeah, I took extra medicine for you guys today. I think it might be wearing off. women in their 40s, I'm 43, have recently discovered or admitted to themselves that they have ADHD and have started taking medication for it, right? And people are like, it seems like a scam, right? But I argue this. Around the same time we all started going, I might have ADHD, they did take away our diet pills. Yeah, and back when women were like, I'm taking these to be thin and beautiful for you, everyone was like, yeah, girl, take them. Do them. Whatever help you need. Speed for everyone. And then they were like, well, what if I wanted to take them to get ahead in business and make my life better and my house clean and keep my appointments in order? Everyone went, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. But since we are in the land where movies are made, I like to think about my hero, my #1 speed queen, Judy Garland. Yes, live fast, right? And in the words of that beautiful woman, where troubles melt like lemon drops, away up on the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me. We can all do this together. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I'm Nicole Rossen. We're like, really? Ending on a singing song? I'm gonna get to the good stuff. Is everyone back there? Are we ready to go? Yeah, there you are. I expected you over there. Okay, so we have a great night planned for you. Today we have some Funny Times contributors coming to read funny stories that they have written for the Funny Times, which some of you happily have in your laps. And we also have a lot of really great comics that are going to make you laugh with their own personalities and comic stylings. We have lots of different kinds of people coming up, and it's going to be an exciting night. But our first guest coming to the stage is a contributor for Funny Times. She has done tons of TV shows. She was the voice of Dee Dee Pickles on the Rugrats. She was on my favorite show when I was a kid, Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Like, I lost my mind when I found that out. She's done Broadway. She's a teacher. She also has a book for sale if you want to find out all the credits she gave me that I could not remember. And it's for sale in the back. Please give it up for Melanie Charoff.
Have to say before I begin, hello.
Hi, sweetie.
I just have to say that I'm an honored participant in Funny Times. I've been a fan since I found it in somebody's bathroom about 30 years ago. And they kept saying, why isn't Melanie coming out of the bathroom? But I got hooked, and I have to highly recommend it. It's very left of liberal, almost like falling over the edge of liberal. And it's such a comfort at times like these. And now they're going to be online, too. So it's a great new step for Funny Times. And I can't go no hands, no papers. I'm going to go with papers. And I'm not going to be ashamed of it. All right, this piece is called A Deadly Bedding. It was scary enough sleeping alone for a sensitive person like me. I'd wake up freaked out to find my knee dislocated, my ear bent in half, and my face monkey-like from mashing into the pillow all night. Sometimes this princess and her pea would wake up in the wee hours of the night and stagger onto feet that had become painful stumps. Whose feet are these? I'd ask the midnight hour. Did someone switch them in the night? I'd ration my water. If I drank 4 ounces, I'd wake up at 2 a.m. If I drank 3 ounces, maybe 3 a.m. If I drank only 2 ounces, I could maybe make it till 5 a.m. But if I drank no water at all, I'd end up swollen-tongued like dead cattle in the dust bowl. I slept lightly so I could react quickly to sounds in big cities I preferred. One eye stayed open while the other did its REMs, and then they'd switch. When an allergy warned me that I was breathing in mites from my pillows and bedding, I started throwing toxic pillows into the dryer on high heat to kill all the creatures and suck out their corpses. Sippy cups, Tempur-Pedic pillows, mattress protectors, air filters, lavender eye masks, weighted blankets, knee dividers. There were worlds of merchandising seducing away the money that I hid under my hypoallergenic latex mattress and the intimacy that I so desired. I read that a sleep partner could aid deeper rest, so I ordered one. I lucked out to find one that came with so many extras. A wonderful man named Stan. Yeah, he's here. We were both looking for the same things, true love and a good night's sleep. Soon our waking hours weren't enough to contain our enthusiasm. It was time to take the next big step and sleep together. Oh, no, not to have sex. We were far from ready for that. Just to sleep together. I'm shy, I said, about moving too fast. Me too, he said, but our being together feels inevitable. When I wear baggy cotton stuff to sleep, I giggled. So do I, he said. I'm a pillow-holic, I said. Me too, he cried. I have 6. I like him soft, I said. I like him hard, he said. I'm a light sleeper. I snore. Oh. I have earplugs, I said. I have a sleep apnea machine. No, we cried. How could such daytime delight coexist with such nighttime incompatibility? We had too much going for us. Spending the night together would be our Everest. We embarked on the climb equipped with the coziest of t-shirts and shorts with 2,000 thread count pillow covers and sheets, and crept onto his wall-to-wall extra firm memory foam California King. We were too thrilled to sleep those first few nights, with lots of adjusting to do in the cuddle phase. Living alone so long, I had not realized how bony I had become. My ribs were unable to tolerate his arm, my neck was unable to tolerate his shoulder for more than a minute. My arm on his chest inhibited his rest, my leg over his made him claustrophobic. Determined, we put pillows in the problem spots and patience in the learning curve. The third night, delirious with lack of sleep, I earplugged, blindfolded, and gagged myself into sensory deprivation as he read in the prison floodlight illuminating his half. Feeling safer with him awake keeping watch, I found that I could actually doze keeping both eyes closed. What a relief. Until he finally turned off the floodlight, and then his loud whistle breathing degenerated into multi-syllable snores, punctuated with desperate snorts of near suffocation that penetrated my pillows and my earplugs. But far from being irked, I felt like I had to keep a vigil so we wouldn't die. I discovered that if I made little kissing sounds, I could interrupt his snore sequences and get a few phases of sleep. So we awoke to debrief. Boy, do you snore, I said. He said, yeah. Well, you make these weird little sucking sounds. So 1 week in, I had synchronized my sleep with his quiet, waking every few minutes with his noise. I sacrificed full-length features to dream in short subjects. 20 winks would have to suffice. I'd get 10 winks during lunch. As his fondness for me grew, he feared disturbing or actually disemboweling me with his restless leg syndrome karate kicks. And whenever I'd yelp, he'd go sleep on the couch, but I'd miss him and I'd yell for him to come back. Our nights got very hectic. But just like the gift of the Magi, we sacrificed our precious sleep for our growing affections. Infatuation drowned out need for sleep as lust came creeping and sex came leaping and came again. Living together was the next logical step. So within a year, he'd given up his sprawling king with the memory foam full of former girlfriends. And moved into the little old queen with the little old queen in my little old house. Like new parents giving birth to baby love, nursing its newness, we knew we might never sleep the night again. But with no risk of pregnancy, no critics of our middle-aged good fortune, sleep was our little dragon to slay, our romantic gauntlet to run. It got harder as he grew more comfortable in my house. The sweetest man by day, by night Stan was a sociopath. Gentle Dr. Jekyll would hide nocturnal Mr. Hyde until drowsing into bed at 2 a.m. He'd headbutt me unconscious in his try for a goodnight kiss, clap my eardrums to bursting, trying to clasp my face to his, or kiss my eyeball, widened in panic before it could flinch. Sometimes he'd push his 6 pillows aside, then pull mine out from under my head, leaving my brain to bang against the headboard. He'd roll away with all the covers, exposing me to frostbite, or roll on top of me, pinning me down, afraid to move for fear of waking him. I learned to lie immobilized like a mummy, gazing at him in the glare of his digital clock as it shouted out my sleepless seconds. Beneath his beatific face, I see tsunamis, cyclones, and zombies arise. He whimpers and fights big psychic battles in which I must intervene before he kills me. Oh, it's a rodeo some nights. I'll roll him bucking onto his side and pin down his legs and tie him off with a pillow. Then we're in dreamland for hours until he seeks his chiming phone, buried somewhere in my blankets or in my body cavities. I get up earlier so he gets hours to abuse the pillows on his own, most of which end up on the floor several feet from the bed. That could have been me, I comfort myself. We deploy herbs, medications, meditations, and it's getting better all the time. Now that I make him meals, slipping him grains in lieu of glutens, goat dairy in place of cow, his labored breathing has eased, and the Hannibal Lecter machines in storage. To ease your concerns, my dear friends, I must tell you that there are many compensations. He tucks me in each night with a bonus back rub, so I sleep double deep until his shift starts. And then the smell of his head is my sedative. His body the womb from which I wish I had been born. And I must tell you, his animal impersonations are incredible. Trumpeting elephants, growling tigers, hidden kittens. He can honk like a monkey or a flock of geese. He can whistle for a New York cab with one nostril. Those coughs should star in La Boheme at the Met. I love to touch his sleeping hand and have it grab onto mine like a Venus flytrap until it's nearly gangrenous from the pressure. The way he reaches for me each morning, making out with a pillow until he finally locates me amidst the pills. 9 years married, I awake amazed at the creature comfort in which we live. My free-floating anxiety sinks in his ocean of devotion. There's nothing that can warm my feet like his, my hands like his, my heart like his. Ours is a love for which it is worth losing sleep. Thank you.
He was the first person that I met in the green room on the first night I ever did an open mic in Seattle, and it was a really long time ago. He's got a movie coming out called Left at the Wall, which is not the directions to the bathroom. Do not remember that part. And he just finished up an awesome run at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Please give it up for my really good friend, Ron Placone!
Good, one more time for Melanie and Nicole, and such a cool event. Funny times, we're doing this. My cat comic, Lucy and Ron, is in the Funny Times. Please do check it out if you haven't yet, because I am a cat person. Yeah, here's how much of a cat person I am. I know my neighbor's cat's name. And I don't know my neighbor's name. My neighbor is Russell and Russell's humans. That's all I know. I'm COVID cautious. You probably noticed that I had a mask on. I'm still COVID cautious. It's tough when you're still COVID cautious these days. You have a mask on. Sometimes people glare at you. You glare back. They don't know. People say weird things to you. Someone said this to me. They were like, Ron, I mean, the thing is, man, if you're still wearing a mask, you're just not going to be the life of the party. That was never the case for me prior. It's not like 2019 and before, I'd be at some party and they'd be like, hey, that guy who's been hanging out with the cats for 45 minutes, who looks like Ed Sheeran if he was obsessed with a bug collection. Let's go talk to him. I bet he has a lot of really golden opinions on why vinyl sounds better. That's our guy. Just wasn't a problem for me. I still mask up on a plane. Anybody still mask up on a plane? Someone else? Yeah. Someone said this to me. They were like, Ron, a plane has great filtration system. The air filtration on a plane is actually top-notch. And I said, that is absolutely wonderful. But when I am sitting next to somebody so close that we know what each other had for lunch that day, and they are coughing up a lung in my lap, I'm not thinking, oh boy, good thing we got this great air filtration. Cough it up, I'm loving it, that's right. Just, oh yeah, let me breathe in these plane farts, that's my freedom. Just gonna take a buffer, you know? So I'm a COVID cautious cat guy. It's gonna be my next album. Someone said this to me, they're like, Ron, you know, if you fall and you die in your house, your cat will eat you. Yeah, that's because she's smart. That's the most productive thing I could be doing in that moment. Every cat person in the history of ever has worried, if I fall and break my neck, who's going to feed the cat? You are. Just in a different way. You are still going to feed the cats. My cat's smart. She's like, well, Brohim's dead. I don't want to live with Russell. He's a dick. Guess I'm eating him. She gets it. Everyone's talking about political leanings. This is a left-leaning magazine. I think it's all about perspective, you know? Like, I was in Edinburgh and I've toured some other parts of the world. In a lot of other parts of the world, I would just be considered on the left. In the United States, my political views are considered watch list, you know? One time I was toured Australia, and a family friend said this to me. She goes, you're toured Australia? I said, yeah, I toured Australia. She goes, you think you'll be okay there? Do you know something I don't? And she goes, well, they're a little more conservative in Australia. What country do you think we live in? Do you think I fly to Denmark every time I do stand-up? Like, what do you think? Are you asking me would I be okay in a country more conservative than the US? I don't know. Yemen hasn't called yet. If they ever do, I'll let you know how it goes. I was actually in Canada not too long ago, and Border Patrol always makes me nervous. And when you cross the border up into Canada from the United States, the first question they ask you is, do you have any guns? Yeah, I think that's optimistic at this point. I think by next year, they're just gonna be like, how many guns do you have? Just, we read your news, you're batshit insane. How many guns? And then when you go back down into the United States from Canada, the first question they ask you is, did you buy anything? Which, boy, that's an interesting priority list for those two countries. Up in Canada, they're just up there like, please don't hurt anybody, we're a peaceful people. In the United States, you show up, they're just all, did you do a capitalism with somebody else? We don't like it. That's like having an affair. What did you get? A hockey jersey, maple syrup, cheaper medicine? Tell us! So I'm at Border Patrol going back into the United States, and the guy looks at my passport, and he goes, "Sir, is this car yours?" And I said, "No, sir, it is a rental car." And he goes, "Where do you live?" I said, "Los Angeles, California." And he goes, "Where did you get this rental car?" And I said, "I got it via the Turo app. I use the Turo app." And he looks at me and he goes, "Is that legit?" And I started getting nervous until I realized he wasn't asking me if my car rental was legit. He was asking me if the app was cool. Because he starts going, "I'm thinking about trying to get a few cars and like put them into rotation." He was talking with his hands and using my passport, by the way. He's like scratching his head with my life support documentation. Like, "Yeah, I might get a few cars. I don't know, just spitballing here." I'm just looking at this guy like, wow, only in the United States is even the Border Patrol person pitching you on their side hustle. I'm gonna show up to Border Patrol next year and the guy's gonna be, "Sir, you look tired. Do you want some of this energy drink I made in my basement?" It's legal, sort of. So I gave him a pep talk. I'm like, "Yeah, I think you can have a good little side income if you know a thing or two about cars." And he goes, "You think so?" I'm like, "I believe in you, buddy." He goes, "Thanks, man." He gives me my passport back. I say, "Have a nice day." He says, "Have a nice day." I'm driving off. As I'm driving off, I shit you not, he goes, "Wait, sir, stop! Did you buy anything?" I like United League Soccer. You guys know what that is? Well, it's soccer, but it's the league below the MLS. So it's like minor league soccer. And I'm really into it. My buddy makes fun of me for it. He goes, "Ron, you found like the obscure indie band of sports." And I said, "It's not that obscure, man. Come on." But then I realized I was scrolling down to find the league. And I had to scroll past Little League Baseball. This league is slightly less popular than Little League Baseball. If you're curious where it's listed, it's right in between shuffleboarding and a channel where you can just stream a guy throwing up after he eats too much cheese. One time I was watching a game and there was just a big rain smudge on one of the cameras the entire time and nothing happened. I just picture some production guy going, "Should we do something about it?" And the other guy going, "There's just like one asshole in San Pedro watching. Just let it go, nobody cares." Rugrats was one of my favorite cartoons growing up, by the way. I love that cartoon. Was absolute genius, and it was Lightyear. Were you part of it too?
I'm Howard on the Rugrats.
No shit. Wow. Okay, that's. I was too shy to say something in the green room. I just say it from stage like a fucking moron. But no, that's like genius cartoon. Lightyear's ahead of his time. My favorite cartoon these days is a cartoon called I Streppi Lunghi Bordi. It's an Italian cartoon by a comic book artist named Zero Calcare, and I bring that up because he's a like lefty millennial punk rocker like me, and in the cartoon his one female friend is busting his chops and she goes, "You're almost 40 no matter how stupid you dress." And the reason I mention that is because ever since I watched that episode, that's what I hear whenever I look in the mirror. Like whenever I'm like, "You're almost 40 no matter how stupid you dress." I'm like, "God damn it, yeah, that's fair." It is an Italian cartoon. I'm trying to get better at speaking Italian, so I use the Duolingo app. Anyone here? Oh, some Duolingo people? Yeah. Oh, that app is gold. I love that app. So for those of you who don't know, you use Duolingo. It helps you learn a foreign language, and when you first download it, it makes you feel like $1 million. You do a lesson, they email you. Yeah, they go, ooh. You learned 5 words in Italian. Way to go. You feel great about yourself. You're like, yeah, you learned 5 words. Then you do another lesson the next day. They email you again. They go, whoa. Ciao Bella, move over Fellini. You know 10 words in Italian. 10 words. You're going to be fluent in like a week. You're like, yeah, I am. Thank you so much, Duolingo. Then you miss a day. They email you again. And they say, ooh, you missed a day. Say that in Italian. Oh, wait, you can't. Thank you guys very much. Peace.
Well done, Ron. I don't need to take this off. I had a horrifying suspicion that everyone here has more IMDb credits than I do. Like, literally everyone. And you're going to say, Nicole, it doesn't matter. It's not a race. Well, yeah, it is, because there's one Nicole Rasa on IMDb who has a credit. It's not me. And guess what she does for a living? She's a horse masseuse. Yeah, so I need to beat her and get more, because I will not have an ex-boyfriend go out in the world and tell people that I practiced on them to become a horse masseuse and then bring up the IMDb to prove it. Absolutely not. All right, our next performer coming to the stage does have a ton of IMDb credits, because I had to look them up. You may have heard his comedy stylings on Not Necessarily News and Saturday Night Live and lots and lots of other stuff, but more importantly to me as a Funny Times employee, he is one of our finest contributors. Please give it up for Larry Arnstein.
That's a microphone.
Okay. So if you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, it's because my wife told me to, and I do whatever she tells me to do. I'm not sure exactly why she wanted me to wear a hat. It's a lot more peaceful in our house if I do what she tells me to do. I was very pleased to be invited to speak, to do something from Funny Times, and I chose this one because I found it, and I can't find any other Funny Times, even though I've been getting them for a long time, but I don't know where they are, because I don't know where anything is. But I found this, and so I will read it to you. It's from a year ago, July, and it's called "Oh Say Can You See?" July, Independence. As we lurch towards another 4th of July, an event we celebrate by setting off fireworks, which annually send a lot of people to emergency rooms, it's time to reflect with patriotic pride on how our national anthem is probably the very worst national anthem of any civilized or not so civilized nation in the world. It isn't that it's extremely bellicose. It is bellicose, but a lot of national anthems are bellicose. There are some exceptions. God Save the Queen is very peaceful, especially for a nation whose citizens boasted patriotically that for many centuries the sun never sets on the British Empire. Well, it has finally set. We were part of that when we had our revolution, which was mainly about taxes we had to pay. We didn't want to pay. Nobody ever wants to pay taxes. But if you have to pay them, you want to be able to complain about them to your representative in whatever body decides what you have to pay. What drove us into open rebellion against the greatest military power in the world was taxes. No taxation without representation. If the Brits had had the common sense to allow us one representative in their parliament, it would have satisfied us, I suppose. Another of the nations with better national anthems than ours is Canada. I know the Canadian national anthem because I've been to more than a few hockey games, and a lot of the teams in the NHL are from Canada. So they play the Canadian national anthem. It's really way better than ours. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our hearts command. Oh, Canada, Canada, glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. It's a great national anthem and so much better than ours. When we had our revolution, we were mainly upset about the tax on tea, which was the only drink available to us with enough caffeine in it to wake us up in the morning and keep us awake until we could start drinking in the afternoon. When it's appropriate to start drinking is apparently happy hour, which most bars advertise begins at 4 p.m. Personally, I think that's a little early to start drinking. I don't think it's appropriate to start drinking until 5 p.m. And since it's appropriate to start drinking at 5, you may as well get a little head start on it by 4:45, which is pretty close to 5. The bars all think it's happy hour starting 4 p.m., so if they think that, I think that too. I may as well admit that I'm writing this at around 5:40 p.m., which means that it's already happy hour here. In fact, I'm already so happy, I can't recall what the subject of this essay is supposed to be.
Drinking song.
Meg, can we do it after the show, Phil? Would that be okay?
Yes.
I can make time at the end, I promise. Okay, I just don't want to mess with the thing. They said we got to be out of here by 9:30. Or I gotta fight Olivia, and you saw the wellies. She probably cleans up bodies all the time. All right, your next performer coming to the stage has recently been seen on Hulu. They are funny, and I'm very excited to see them perform. Give it up for Siege Gary!
Yeah. I just gotta say, sir, you are adorable. Like, that was the sweetest thing I've ever seen. Will you come to Burning Man with me? I'm serious. We'll talk after the show. This is so much fun. I'm so excited to be here. I got exciting news in my life. I recently came out as non-binary. Yeah. Don't ask me what it means. I don't know either. All I know is I looked at being a man and looked at being a woman and went, nope. Nope. I will tell you one thing. I am not chopping off my boobs. Hell yeah, that's right. I'm not chopping them off because I need them to offset my guts. You know? I might not believe in gender, but I do believe in symmetry. Civilized person. You know what I love about being non-binary is like nobody knows what the fuck non-binary looks like. So like no matter what I do with myself, everyone's just like, oh, I guess that is what non-binary looks like. Like I could look like Zendaya or Danny DeVito. People would congratulate me. It's amazing. I work a ton of overtime. Do we have any overworkers here? Yeah? Or like back in the day, just work nose to the grindstone? I'm the only one. I'm the only one neglecting my life. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. Like my fiance drives her fucking insane. You know, she says I'm addicted to work, that I'm a workaholic. Yeah, she begged me to go to Workaholics Anonymous, but I couldn't get the time off. Look, I don't know what her problem is anyway. Like, as far as addictions go, workaholism is amazing. It's the only one that makes you money. Like workaholics will sacrifice our relationships, our sanity, our health, but we'll make it rain, am I right? Yeah, my fiance was in tears. So I handed her a tissue box full of $100 bills. Okay, alcoholic is abusive. A workaholic just loves their family. I work a corporate job. We have any corporate drones here today? No? Yeah, I heard one very tepid. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful working corporate. I'm on a lot of antidepressants working a corporate job. My therapist asked me what I hope to get out of treatment, and I said I wanted to get healthy enough to get that promotion, but not be so healthy that I get fired. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Like that person who has way too much self-respect. They start demanding dignity and setting boundaries until their key card gets deactivated. Suddenly, you lose your insurance, can't afford therapy anymore. So you get depressed again. You gotta find another corporate job with health care so you can get healthy enough to lose your job again. It's awful. My best friend told me she's having a baby. Yeah. So I guess we're done. That's it. She's too busy for me, and children terrify me. That's it for us. I've never wanted children. Never wanted it. People give me grief for that. They're like, Siege, how can you not want kids? Kids are what give life meaning. Which is the saddest thing I've ever heard. Like, come on, like life should have meaning in and of itself. It's not a pyramid scheme to only profit from if you bring new people into it. Ridiculous. Like I finally told my mother I'm never having children just because I was tired of her getting excited every time I gained weight or threw up. Like I'm just hungover, Ma. I'm not making your dreams come true. Sometimes I wonder, I don't know why she had me. Like it certainly wasn't to raise an emotionally mature, well-adjusted human being. Because I fucking know that. Like honestly, I think she wanted a baby so she'd have someone to talk to. You know? Like she really wanted to trauma bond. Except I was 2 years old. And I had no trauma yet. So she was trauma dumping on a toddler. You know what I'm saying? Like she told me that she was forced to have an abortion when she was 16. And her mother thought that she was a brain-dead disappointment. And I didn't have anything to say words are mama and dada, and mine were, I'm sorry that happened to you. Oh, goodness. Who has children here? A lot of parents in the audience? Make some noise! It's exciting! Thank you! Seriously, someone has to do it. For the love of God. Keep whatever's happening going. Just keep going. And I'll say, there's one thing I envy about parents. I really do. Because when y'all are old, you'll be surrounded by loved ones. And when I'm old, I'll be by myself at the nursing home with a robot nurse who steals from me. Sad. It's sad. But I can still turn it around. There's still time, all right? Like, look, I can find a nice, lonely neighborhood boy, teach him how to ride a bike, and bake him some cookies and help him with his homework. So when I'm old, he can kill my robot nurse. He won't let me live with him because I am an emotionally mature person who is not well-adjusted, and yeah, even in my fantasy, he doesn't want to live with me. It's sad. It's sad. It's my fantasy. But my goodness, a friend of mine, he was a bummer. Actually, a friend of mine went to the hospital. I got billed $13,000 for anesthesia. Yeah, serves him right for not raw-dogging his appendectomy. Like, look, anesthesia's a luxury. Like, none of that for me, doctor. I'll just bite on a stick. The stick is only $7,500. Bargain basement prices. Did you know the birth rate has been declining the last few years? Yeah, it's by a lot. Yeah, it's really concerning to, I guess, some people. I don't know, y'all seem fine with it. You did your part. No, but yeah, overall the birth rate is, in the United States, it's not good. And the government is freaking out. Like, they will do anything to get people to make babies again. Except pay for parental leave or prenatal care or child care, anything else, you know? I think that's why they banned abortion. I do. Because why make it attractive to have babies when you can just make it so you can't not have babies? It's diabolical. But yeah, I don't know, I think they're doing other things to make people have babies, like little things you don't even notice, you know? Like, have you noticed over the last few years, like pandemic and afterward, like, they're just pregnant women everywhere? Television, movies, ads, they're fucking everywhere. They didn't used to be like that, and they are now. And they're spouting a bunch of pro-birth propaganda, and oh, it's not so scary, you can do it. Like, I first noticed it in Bird Box. Who saw Bird Box? Anyone see Bird Box? Yes, what? Anyway, it was a big movie on Netflix. Sandra Bullock, pregnant woman, really pregnant, could have a baby any moment, running for her life from these monsters. And apropos of nothing, it comes out that pregnant women can still have a few drinks. I guess that was holding some women back. And those women should not be having children. Ridiculous. But yeah, the government needs people to make more babies so they can grow up into teenagers who join the military and do the menial jobs and max out their credit cards and take on the predatory loans. And then they'll have babies of their own. And the cycle will continue because the economy must constantly grow so billionaires can buy more spaceships and submarines. Oh my God, having kids is a pyramid scheme. All right, actually, I'm going to leave you all on that. Thank you so much for listening. Keeping on Prestige Mary. Y'all are gonna love the irony of what is about to happen. You really are. This next performer coming to the stage is a Funny Time contributor.
contributor. She has a scripted podcast called The Best Party Ever that you should totally Google and listen to. And she's here reading, honestly, and this is again not a comedy lie, one of my favorite pieces we've had in the Funny Times in the last couple of years. I want you to give up for Diana Wright.
It's just a marketing scheme to promote Bird Box. Siege, our friendship is over. I am 9 months pregnant. So if any of the contributors or comics were wondering if anyone's peeing their pants with laughter, it's a guarantee. And if I do give birth on this stage, it's not a bit. As much as I would love it to be. Well, I know we're in LA, but I don't know if anyone's been to New Jersey. Yeah. Yeah? Maybe you've driven on its famous turnpike. Yeah. So New Jersey is known for, driving to New York. And one of my favorite things about the turnpike is it has these rest stops, and they're named after famous people, and they have nothing to do with New Jersey. They're just like random famous people that they were like, you can have one. And it is also a fact that Bruce Springsteen, like the king of New Jersey, has rejected a rest stop. He does not want one. However, there's one person who has a rest stop who I think would really, really love the fact that he has a rest stop. And he unfortunately died years prior to having this rest stop. But this is my imagination of how he would feel about this rest stop in this piece. It's me, Walt Whitman, and I fucking love my rest stop. Hi, it's me, the father of American poetry. I broke open the line. I liberated our language. I lifted the dusty verse of the old world into song. And you honor my legacy by putting my name on a highway rest stop. A place where bleary-eyed, unwashed, calf-strapped travelers relieve their bowels and cram down cheap confections before hurrying back out across the smoggy, oil-stained parking lot. Well, I fucking love it. The hustle and bustle of modern man, families and wayward souls crisscrossing our vast expanse, north to south, east to west. The growl of the engine, the hum of the broken ice machine, the strange brown wet spots on the floor. This is life. This is America. It's almost poetic. I mean, not as poetic as my poems, of course, but I would certainly write a poem about this. In fact, here comes one now. Oh, Cinnabon, my Cinnabon, our sugar rush is done. But sweetness lingers, the ache of a tooth, the sticky tabletop. If angels dance on pinheads, how many waltz across the slick ooze of frost? The eaters all exulting, and next, Auntie Anne's. And holy shit, is that my name flashing neon, pink and green? It hums like the voice of God. America! I love it all. I love all of them. These beautiful people, my people, I am their poet. And just look at them, their multitude. Small, medium, big, oh, and even bigger. I mean, really big. I didn't realize a man could be so large. Anyway, such a bounty of humanity. Shapes and sizes, colors and hues, tattoos, both Semitic and anti-Semitic. They're free, really, truly free. I mean, not free financially. You can tell just by looking at them how shackled they are to miserable wages. And obviously not free from strife and fear and violence, or free to safely and fairly choose their leaders. But their souls are free. Their spirits, soaring like the passenger pigeon, the dusty sparrow, the heath hen, the ivory-billed woodpecker, oh, all extinct, you say. Ah, well, progress. They gave their lives for this monument to the open road, the endless expanse, the franchise store, the fluorescent light, the stink of sweat, the wail of a baby, the voluminous clouds of a vape, the McFlurry. It's one miracle after another. Oh, I feel another poem coming on. Hold on, here it comes. I hear America singing the very carols I hear. Those Starbucks baristas coaxing the shrill whine of steaming milk. The gift shop speakers harmonizing the radio edit of WAP. The truckers, dizzy with glee and diesel fumes. The Humvee, the fleet of Priuses. The ever-present windowless van. To thee I sing. I sing the Body Electric for these exquisite Nathan's hot dogs. I don't know what relish is, but never has a name been more well-earned. I applaud the children urinating into the woods, but still too close to the parking lot. I cheer the redneck fish fight. This rest stop is a mecca, an oasis. In the long night between here and there, it is a dawning unto itself. And let's not forget the anonymous meetup of men. What a celebration of the bliss of a body. What a testament to the supple thrill of obscurity. What a great place to discover masculinity in its finest. Look how they scurry back into the woods from where they emerge. This truly is the future. And the future has quite a smell to it. I cannot believe this Bruce Springsteen character didn't want one of these. How much more American can you get? Do not shout your truths from a mountaintop, my fellow citizens. Do not whisper your secrets into a roaring river. Instead, climb atop this rickety table, atop this tacky Orange Julius counter, atop this TV playing local news at 110 decibels, and let your barbaric whoop and, I'll get down. You don't need to call security. You know what? I'm getting down. I'm gonna get down.
Give it up for motherfucking Walt Whitman! All right, our next comedian coming to the stage, you can see her on Netflix, and that's like mic drop in terms of credits. So give it up for Robin Tran!
Hi everyone. Good to see you. Wow, so good to see you all. Oh my God, so I was born in... I'm kidding, I don't talk like that. I'm just kidding. It's a complete joke. Haven't gotten to do that joke for a while. Good to be back. Political show, it's good. Love a good political show. You know, in 2016, you know, when Trump won, I'm not making this up, several people blamed me for Trump winning the election. Can you believe that? Because I'm trans? They blamed me for Trump winning. I thought it was because I voted for Trump, you know what I mean? I did the joke. I did the joke backstage at Tilt. They're like, you got to do this on stage. I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about it. I learned most things by liberals calling Trump stupid for something I also thought. Like when Trump was congratulating the Kansas City Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl, and he was like, yeah, congratulations to the great state of Kansas. And people were like, you fucking idiots. That's Kansas City. He's not in Kansas, you fucking stupid. I'm like, hey, I didn't do anything. Why are you yelling at me, calling me stupid, I don't hate Trump because he's stupid. I hate him because he's racist, okay? Him being stupid is actually a good thing, in my opinion. I relate to stupidity. You know what I mean? Stop trying to get me to like this guy. I fucking hate Trump. When people are like, Trump, he likes Big Macs and hates the troops. I'm like, stop trying to get me to like this guy, okay, whoa, okay. It's a very political crowd. Left-leaning, I don't even know what that means anymore, left-leaning, Because if you say left-leaning nowadays, everyone is so, political people have more pronouns than the LGBTQIA plus community. That's why I can't fucking keep up, now there are people out there, if you say left-leaning and people go like, oh, I'm not a liberal, I'm a leftist, I'm a different kind of annoying person, right? Excuse me, but I'm one of the cool ones. The first time I'm wearing this outfit that my fiance got me, Siege, my fiance, I look like a transgender communist. And I hate both groups. No, I'm kidding. That people are going to look and go like, oh, I guess the communists have gone woke now. That's how dumb the woke, anti-woke people. Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I'm a very ignorant person, I just don't know much. I was too busy being poor to read, I'm going to tell you, these are some real things I thought. That's why I hate it. Whenever anyone asks me for my political opinions about anything, I'm like, look, I'm too stupid. It's not that I don't care, it's that I'm stupid, okay? Here are some real things I thought, okay? Up until 2013, I thought that Lance Armstrong was Neil Armstrong's astronaut son. Do you understand how dumb that is? This is where you want an opinion from? And then in 2009, the movie Dodgeball, there was a scene when Lance Armstrong makes a cameo appearance. And he has a bicycle that he, goes around with. And you would think this is the moment that I figured out that he's like a bicycle guy, right? But I saw that and all I thought was, oh, I guess that he rides his bike around the country to bring awareness to being an astronaut. That's how dumb I am. These are real things that I thought. I have facial and racial blindness, where every person of the race, they all look the same to me. You know how some annoying liberals will be like, I'm colorblind, I don't see race, I don't see color. I'm the opposite, where I only see color. Which means every person of the same, like every Asian person looks the same to me, every white person looks the same, every black person. One time, like 15 years ago, I was going on a date with this Asian girl, right? Predominantly Asian city. We're at the mall. I go to the bathroom for a couple minutes. And in those 2 minutes, I forgot what she looked like, okay? So I come out of the bathroom, and I start doing a performative, like... An Asian girl walks up to me and gives me a hug. I hug her back, and I just thought, hope this is the right one. This is, and it's even worse with animals. Up until 2 years ago, people are going to think I'm lying when I say this, okay? I thought that tigers and lions were the same animal, and that tigers were boys and lions were girls. I thought this for real. I think that for real. And I've tried to unpack, and my job as a comedian is to unpack stupidity and then but it's like Christmas lights. Untangled up. I can't explain to you why I still think that. no matter what. You guys remember the shows Hercules and Xena? Did anyone watch those shows? Now look, here's the thing about that, okay? I knew that Xena was fake, but I thought that Hercules was real. Do you understand how stupid that is? Not even consistent. I'm like, why'd they give a spin-off to a fake show about a real person, Hercules? That's why I don't want people to ask me for my opinion about anything, okay? Because I'm stupid. Up until last month, I thought Hamas was one guy. That's what I really thought. I thought there was a guy named Hamas, okay? And people were like, do you condemn Hamas? I'm like, yeah, I condemn him. Don't you mean them? I did not know that Hamas was non-binary. I'm so sorry. I did not know that there were... I only started doing that joke like 2 weeks ago. I looked at the crowd, I'm like, ooh, hope they like this Hamas joke. This is a tough one to explain to people. I feel like I'm one of the only comedians in the world right now who are not obsessed with trans people, you know? And everyone's just making a lot of money on trans people. It's like, yeah, we hate trans people. Yeah, join the club, dipshit. No, I'm kidding. But, you know, I've done a lot of jokes about being trans. I guess I'm trying to get away from it, you know? But I've written a lot of, like, articles. I've done a lot of interviews. People here don't know who I am, but I've gone almost like, I've written a lot of like why I won't get the surgery, you know? Like why I won't do this and that. I've written jokes about it. Like people ask me if I've gotten the surgery. I'm like, I don't know what you have underneath what you think I have underneath my dress. But I'll tell you what I don't have is $100,000, right? One of my most famous jokes. They got me on Letterman, right? But it's actually not true. The reason why I won't get the surgery, and I'm sorry for, here's a content warning, okay? Is that my dick is so small, it's basically a pussy. Okay, that's why, all right? And I'm sorry. That's just the truth. I'll get the half off discount if I ever got a Sorry, I know that's a real hack dick joke. All right. Now look, there's a stereotype out there that Asians have small penises, right? That's a whole stereotype out there. And what does everyone say? Nuh-uh, you know, whatever, right? How could you? That's offensive. And I gotta tell you guys something. I have a lot of Asian friends who have told me like, I have a small dick, and they'll start crying and shit, you know? So look, here's the thing. The issue is not the stereotype that Asians have small dicks. That's not the issue. The issue is that people think that there's something wrong with it. That's the issue, okay? Because there's nothing wrong with having a small dick, okay? It's all propaganda. Okay, it's all propaganda by Big Dick, okay? It's all propaganda. Propaganda? No? All right. I killed at the trans show I did last week. Actually, no, it actually didn't. Trans crowds are actually even tighter than you people are. Those people don't laugh at nothing. Like, I didn't do it to you. Why are you guys mad at me? Let's see, what do I want to end on? I thought Big Dick was going to be a big... I thought it was going to be like this. I love the Big Dick joke. Some people look really upset with me right now. You don't even know. Okay, here's the thing, okay? Is that, it's just, I want to tell Asian people, it's like, stop having small dick energy about having a small dick, you know? You gotta have big dick energy about it, you know? Just be fucking calm, like, yeah, it's small, so what, fucker? You know? Yeah, it's small. You could fit my dick and balls in your mouth like a completionist, you know? Because really... I might not be getting surgery, but I'm still getting that pussy, you know? Like, just fucking... Shit, that's like my last line. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Okay, have a good night. Thank you.
We've learned a lot. This next performer is not your final performer, because I will let Phil sing at the end. But your final comedic performer that was scheduled for this evening, he's going to make you laugh so hard, and I know this because I saw him stretching. Okay? That's how hard he's going to make you laugh. He's got a comedy special coming out on all things comedy real soon. Please give it up for Graham Elwood!
Keep it going for all the comedians you've seen tonight, and the journalists reading. Keep it going for them. This is amazing. This is the most amazing show I've ever been a part of. A converted warehouse that is now a Edgar Allan Poe themed comedy club. Because when you think comedy, it's fucking Poe. You know what I'm saying? Monkey Paw, hilarious. It is so goddamn funny. I love it. They just ran out of wood paneling. Let's put a fucking crow up there. Let's do it. Let us do it. Yeah, I just came. Sorry, the reason I'm going last is not because I'm like the big headliner just running late, because I'm working at Universal City at the Star Trek Next Generation exhibit, so... Come on, it's a Next Gen show. We're all Star Trek. I've never had a podium here. I just feel like compelled to touch it. You know, I feel like there should be scripture here, and I should just lean over and go, I think it was Leviticus that said, "Oh, suck that dick, bitch." He said it. It's in Latin. How you doing? And I cannot wait to hear your new rendition of the fucking, I cannot wait. I'm like, this guy, this is old, the new with the old, but your revamp, got it. He's fucking fantastic. Anybody else want to read like the first draft of the Bill of Rights or some shit like that? Or anybody else? No? Okay, we'll get to it. Sweet. So, I should share with you, yeah, it's been, the summer's been a little rough, you know, because of the strikes. Looks like the strikes are ending, which is a good thing, but money was really tight, you know, for me. And if, I was like, shit, man, I'm not working. There's no showbiz work and all the, a lot of the comics. Like, I was going to book myself on the road, on these clubs, but all the writers and actors were already in. The clubs were full. I was like, shit, I need some money, you know. And a friend of mine said, well, Grant, maybe you should do some temp work. And I was like, I've been a stand-up comic since I was 18. I have no marketable skills. Like, what temp job? Just go to a temp agency. Like, hey, do you guys got a job where I can just like hang out in the break room and make fun of people? Like, $200-300 an hour. You know what I mean? And I just come in like maybe late in the day. You know what I mean? I go surf in the morning and then just come in and hang out and go, hey, nice hat, fucko, and then I get paid. No, they didn't have that. Okay, cool. That's good. So I've lived in LA a long time. I've lived in Santa Monica for 20 years. And then during the pandemic, I lived in Hawaii for 2 years. Yeah, nobody's like, everyone's like, why did you fucking move back? What did you? It was, I miss Santa Monica. I miss seeing a homeless guy shit on the sidewalk outside my yoga studio. It was really, I miss that. And, that happened on 2nd Street a couple of weeks ago. It's great. I took a shit next to him. I didn't want him to feel bad. You know what I mean? I was like, come on, we're not lefties or what? So since I've been back, I finally just got an apartment signed at least, but I didn't know if I was going to stay here or whatever, so I was like staying at various friends of mine, you know, like either house sitting or subletting or whatever, and they all my friends have been living here a long time, and all 3 places I stayed at were all rent control. And the rents are so out of control now in LA that anyone living in rent control, they're all like living in just abject fear. Like everything was just like, hey, maybe we should fix the garbage disposal. Don't fucking call the landlord. Don't. One buddy literally lost one of the keys to the outdoor. I was like, we lost the key. I'm like, just call the landlord. He's like, no, get a fucking locksmith. I'm like, a locksmith is $100. So we just get a key for $10. No, the fucking landlord, they'll kick us out. Like, everyone's just living like fucking Anne Frank. It's just unbelievable. It's just like, don't make any noise at night. Don't watch the TV. Read a book at candlelight. Don't do anything. They're going to kick us out. My rent will go up $5 grand. Get the fuck, don't say a noise. Like, sorry, man. Okay. Cool. Cool. So, and I saw my nieces and nephews all. I get to see them over the summer. They're all young, right? Young. They're all Gen Z. I love Gen Z. A lot of people are like, oh, get mad at Gen. I love Gen Z. That generation is fucking awesome. They're really just like so inclusive and so it's almost like I feel bad at how like I grew up. I'm Gen X, you know, and Gen Z, even some millennials, they're so accepting. They say stuff like when someone's doing something that they don't judge it. They just go, hey, you do you. Or like, you're doing that thing, that's not my thing. Hey, blessed. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. You know, like, I'm Gen X. We said it a little differently. It was like, hey, go fuck yourself. Or that's, man, that's fucking stupid. Or shut your fucking mouth. Or I'm going to punch you in the throat. Or fuck you, I'm stealing this. Or I was unsupervised as a child because my parents were alcoholics. Anyway, that's maybe a separate thing. But, yeah. So, I've been sober for a while. Thank you. Anybody sober in the thing? Sweet. Yeah, right. It's funny, LA is the land of the 12-step programs. Everyone's in some 12-step program. I've gone to all of them just to test them out, you know. A friend of mine was like, because the summer was tight with money, like, you should come with me to a Debtors Anonymous meeting. All right, I don't think I have an issue with this, but I'll be open or whatever. And I was like, wow, the debtors thing, that's the least sexy of all of them. You know what I mean? Like, you go to AA meetings and it's fucking rock and roll. They always just these amazing stories. Like, man, I was fucking high and I fucking landed a plane and then I got sober. It's like, wow. It's like all these great albums were written, you know what I mean? Just like fucking Jimi Hendrix is on fucking he just did it, you know? There's a Major League Baseball player, Kurt Flood, in the 1980s. He threw a no-hitter high on cocaine. Doesn't remember it, and it's still talked about in folklore. There's no debtor's story. There's no like, remember that time Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals? Fucking every time out, he was just going online, buying bullshit on Amazon he didn't need, and he fucking scored 50 points. He doesn't even fucking remember. No one's ever said that story. John Coltrane, famous heroin addict, when he got sober, he locked himself in an apartment in New York City and kicked heroin, just cold turkey. It was brutal. It was gnarly. After he came out of that hell of going through withdrawal, he wrote A Love Supreme, which is arguably one of the greatest jazz albums, if not greatest pieces of music a human being has ever written. It is beautiful. And that's his story. It's like, but I'm like, again, it's not, there's not like he was a debtor, like, oh man, he was just locked in his apartment, cutting up credit cards, like, A Love Supreme, like, holy shit, he just found God after he stopped buying Starbucks, it's fucking nuts. 12-step, there's nothing here, I'm looking at absolutely nothing. So I have kind of a dark view of the world, but it is nice to be back in LA. I love living in a city that, I don't know if you guys know this, has the highest percentage of people per capita that use the following sentence 100% seriously. Just manifest it. Yeah, it's amazing. Just think it, you can make it happen, just manifest it. In your head, it's just like, wow, there's holy shit, there's all these like rich white women with superpowers. Like, how the fuck did they do that? They just think it and chakra crystals and essential oils, and just boom, you just make it happen. Oh my God, are you guys gonna like manifest the end of war and fucking ending homelessness? No? Oh, just an $800 baby carriage for your dog? Okay, fucking right on, cool, yeah. We'll get to the other stuff soon, I'm sure. That's great. I did that joke recently. Actually, on this stage, I think, like a week or two ago, and a woman came up to me after the show, and she was kind of mad. She was a manifester, and she was like, Graham, manifesting works. I think she had a Hindu name for Karen or something, and she was just like, it finally works, and I don't imagine. And she said this, she goes, that's how, I manifested my clothing store. And I was like, oh, the one your parents helped you with? Oh, sweet, that's cool. That's what I forgot to do, manifest a trust fund. Fuck, there it is. But she wouldn't let it go, you know. She's like, look at you, Graham. You manifested becoming a professional comedian. I'm like, all right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Yes. I thought long and hard as a young man, I wanted to someday do comedy at an Edgar Allan Poe themed comedy club. And someday, in the back of a warehouse by a train, I'm going to fucking make it. And it's going to be huge. And I'm going to get paid in a fucking bottle of seltzer water. And you know what? I did it. I manifested it. I made this happen. Me and Captain Picard. So I like watching documentaries about cults. And here's where that happened. I'll tell you this real quick. This is how I started watching cult documentaries. My father was a college professor, and if you or anyone you know has college professor parents, you know that as a child, you were not having a lot of fun. You were having learning experiences. Everything was an educational opportunity. So this was never more evident than when my family lived in Germany for a year as a kid. My dad had a Fulbright, which is a research scholarship. He had a PhD in German theater history, which right there is fucking fun. You know what I'm saying? Holy shit. I mean, when you're a kid, my other friends are learning about boring stuff like superheroes and Disneyland. I'm learning about Bertolt Brecht. You know what I'm saying? And Goethe. Goethe is a fucking joke machine. Him and Edgar Allan Poe together, holy shit. So one of the field trips my dad took us on, all we did was go to museums and castles. We went to Dachau. Yeah, concentration camp. And the age breakdown, my oldest sister was 14. That's probably the age you should learn about that kind of stuff. You know, my other sister, 11. Okay, my brother was 9. That's too young. I was 6. 6 years old. Brought it up to my dad a couple years ago, and I was like, Dad, don't you think I was a little young? And he goes, well, I guess we didn't really think that through. See, Gen Z, this is why Gen X is so fucking angry. We were not supervised at all. There wasn't a play date. It was like, go look at some ovens. Ha ha, your mom and I are going to have drinks. That's what fucking went down. So, so I like watching documentaries about cults. And I'll end on this. Because there's another Edgar Allan Poe themed comedy group coming in later. Those are all of their suggestions. I need a place you'd bury an animal. Anyway, we got to come to grips with the fact that America is a cult. Right? America is a cult. It's a cult. It has cults with every fucking birthday. That's how we fucking work out. We're taking protein powder. All right, settle down. It's all body weight. That's what's fucking amazing about it. It's all body weight. We fucking look at it up. I fought a shark today. No, you didn't. Settle down. Jesus. Florida's a cult. You know what I'm saying? Florida's a cult. What the fuck happened in Florida? What happened in Florida? What's wrong with that state? What's going on? Like, the whole state's fucked up. And I think we need to come to grips with the fact that America is the Florida of Earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've got friends in other countries, and they're always like, what the fuck are you guys doing there? What is going on? What are you guys doing? And we need to come to grips with, if you look at the human race and the whole planet, Earth is the Florida of the galaxy, folks. You ever notice the spaceships, the UFOs? They never land. Why don't they just land and get off of the spaceship and go, hi, we're from the other planet, how you guys doing? They just fly by. They're fucking terrified to actually get off the ship and meet us. Here's my theory. All UFOs are alien teenagers borrowing their parents' spaceship and just coming by Earth on a dare. You know, like the mom's like, you can have your father's spaceship, but do not go by Earth at all. They're out of their goddamn minds. Your uncle went there in the 1950s. They captured him. They've been sticking stuff in his ass in Area 51 ever since. No, we're just going to go to Chad's and do homework. They get in the spaceship. There's like the older kids and then the younger brothers in the back. And they're like, yo, we got to go to Earth. The younger brother's like, Mom said we're not supposed to. She said it's dangerous. Dude, you got to see this shit. They're so fucking stupid there, man. They kill themselves over money and food and religion. They're fucking out of their goddamn minds. They draw lines on a map and go, that's my country. No, that's mine. And then they fucking kill each other over that shit. They're fucking so stupid, man. They need breathable air, drinkable water, and they fuck that shit up. They're fucking got the best weed. And that's my time. Thank you so much, you guys. Don't forget to vote.
Everybody. Okay, all right. So before we go, which we can do this very shortly because Olivia and her galoshes does mean fucking business, and she will bury us behind the train tracks in the galoshes, and no one will know because she can hose them off. There is books for sale. Melanie's got her memoir back there. I got some Funny Times postcards that you guys can have for free because I brought them here from Cleveland and I'm not bringing them back. But Phil, you have 1 minute to sing your song. I should say that Phil Proctor does write Planet Proctor and has many times contributed to the Funny Times, so he's not just a weird guy.
It's true. Planet Proctor.
Phil Proctor of the Fire Sign.
Phil Proctor of the Fire Sign Care. Excellent for them. You know, if you move the letters of Cleveland around, it spells C and Lee. Just wanted you to know that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these are the original lyrics to the song, which we now know as the national anthem. And it was a drinking song in the taverns, a popular melody, which is why Francis Scott Key decided to steal it to write his song. Here it is. It's Anacreon is a Greek god who believed in drinking and debauchery. Just so you know. To Anacreon in heaven, where he sat in full glee, a few sons of harmony sent an epistle that he would imbibe and patron would be. And this answer arrived from the jolly old Grecian. Voice, fiddle, and flute, no longer be mute. I'll lend you my name and inspire you to boot. And long may the sons of Anacreon inspire and entwine the myrtle of Venus with Bacchus's vine.
I am in battle with the person that runs the Facebook and Funny Times, so follow on Instagram so I win the battle. Thank you to the Crow, thank you to all the comics, thank you. Have a wonderful night. Buy books, buy books.